Number 11, here we're going to solve. Take a look. This is 6x plus 3 equals to 0. Notice this is already a degree 1. Okay, this does not require any factoring. We could just solve for x. Minus 3 to both sides. This allows the 3 on the left to cancel, leaving you with a 6x on the left is equal to negative 3. You can divide by 6 to both sides. 6 over 6 does cancels, leaving you with an x is equal to negative 1/2. Okay, that's the answer. Or if you want to think about factoring it, you can technically factor out a GCF of 3. This is the GCF. What is left on the inside is a 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Then if you follow that same format of setting each factor equal to 0, so we set the 3 equals to 0 and the 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Notice 2 can never be equal to 0, so that goes away. But that 2x plus 1 equals to 0 can be technically solved for. Minus 1 to both sides, leaving you with a 2x is equal to negative 1. Divide the 2 to both sides, giving you an x is equal to negative 1/2. Notice that the solutions here are the same, either method that you do. Let's look at B here. First of all, notice this is a degree 2. The fact that it's degree 2, this requires you to factors in some way. So we want this to be equal to 0. Subtract 20x to both sides. This now leaves you with a 10x squared plus 35x is equal to 0. Here you want to look, you could try to set up your dashes now, or you could look for GCF. Okay, the GCF here is going to be 5x. What is left over is a 2x from the 10x squared plus 7 from the 35x equals to 0. Now you set each term equals to 0. 5x is equal to 0 and the 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. We can solve the 5x equal to 0 by dividing 5 to both sides, leaving you here with x is equal to 0. Here 2x plus 7, you minus 7 to both sides, you get 2x is equal to negative 7. Divide the 2 to both sides to get the x alone, you get x is equal to negative 7 over 2. So your two solutions are x equals to 0 and x is equal to negative 7 over 2. Okay, there are two solutions because this is a degree 1, but notice number 11, it's degree 1, so it only has one solution. C, take a look. This is now a degree 3. All right, so we have to try to make it equal to 0. We have a minus 2x here, so we're going to add 2x to both sides. Then I have a plus 7x squared, so we're going to minus 7x squared to both sides. Okay, I lined them all up. So this cancels on the right, this cancels on the right, leaving you with a 3x cubed minus 9x squared minus 12x is equal to 0. Now we could try to factor, or we could look for a GCF. The GCF here is going to be a 3 and an x, because there's an x in each term and there's a 3 in each term. This leaves you with a x squared minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, now the stuff on the inside, you're allowed a factor. So you're trying to find two numbers that multiply to make negative 4. That adds up to this middle number of negative 3. And the two numbers here are 1 and 4, I believe. And the negative is on the 4. Okay, so this breaks down into an x. Then divide by a 1x, divide by 1x. Okay, because there's a 1 in front. So the factors are x plus 1 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. Bring down that 3x. All right, now you set each term equal to 0. So the 3x here is going to be equal to 0. Then the x plus 1 is going to be equal to 0. And the x minus 4 is going to be equal to 0. Subtract 1 here to both sides. This cancels, leaving you with x is equal to negative 1. You have a minus 4 here, so we're going to add 4 to both sides. This does cancels, leaving you with x is equal to 4. So, and we also have the 3x over 0. So divide by 3, divide by 3. This cancels, leaving you with x is equal to 0. Notice x is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 1, and x equals to 4. There are three solutions here. There are three solutions because the degree here, it is 3.